Good morning, guys. Today we're going to be doing a lot of kind of core and arms and stuff like that. Not actually too many, a little bit of legs, but it's mostly going to be core and upper body. So we'll start as usual with the butterfly warm up. I think from now on I'm probably going to introduce the class and what we're doing so you aren't taken by surprise. I'll let you know what we're focusing on. So again, we're just focusing on upper body and core today. At any point, if you need to drop down to your knees to give yourself a break, go ahead and do that. All right, come onto your mat, all the way back. Nice wide stance, wider than hip width apart. You're gonna reach up towards the sky, come down, weight in your heels, and lift. Inhale and exhale. I tend to inhale as I go down and exhale as I come up, but sometimes I switch it too. It just depends, but that's usually what I do. It's just automatic for me. In and out. Feet are definitely wider than hip width apart, and my toes are pointed out too because that is what feels most comfortable on my ankles, especially in any wider stance. You'll usually want to have your toes slightly angled out. Breathe. Take it up a little bit faster. Again, weight is in your heels, back and forth. Now, y'all got to see my hair at the very beginning because I was close, so now you're gonna really see how messed up my hair gets by the time we're finished. My hair has a life of its own when I work out. Breathe up, down, up, down, breathe, keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, hands at the center of your heart. Close your eyes. Feet can be hip width apart. Breathe, lengthen that spine. Exhale, relax your shoulders. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Up and down. Focusing only on our breathing. Breathe. One more up. And down. Go ahead, step to the end of your mat. You're going to be reaching up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to walk it out and do some lizard stretching. So coming all the way up, stretching out that core, hinging from your hips, bend your knees as much as you can. Come into a plank and then push back into your first down dog. Remember to push your hips back up and away. If you need to bend your knees, bend them as much as you need to. You don't want your tailbone tucked. You want your tailbone untucked. So you can create a nice line from your hands to your hips. Breathe. Shift your weight from one foot to the other, so you're trying to push that heel towards the ground. Back and forth. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Go ahead and take your right leg, send it straight back. We're gonna go into a hip opener. So from here, leg is straight back. I'm gonna rotate my hips open. So just so you can see it on the left side, with my leg up, see how I'm lifting and opening up my hips? That is what we're gonna be doing on the right side. Open them up, and then let your foot fall away from you. Breathe. Hold. Go ahead and rotate back. Left leg up. Open and fold. Too close to the wall. Open. Breathe. Full stretch. Rotate again to the right side. This time, we're gonna take that right leg after we're done opening up the hip And we're gonna bring it right to your right hand. Swoop it through to your right hand. Open up to the right side. Look up towards that hand. Breathe. Feel free to drop a knee if you need to, or stay on your toes. Now we're gonna rotate, and you're gonna do elbow to elbow. So you're gonna touch this elbow, or get at least as close as you can to touching this elbow to your other elbow, and then you're gonna open it up again. I'm gonna drop to my knee because my one hamstring on this side is super tight. So I'm gonna do it on my knee instead. So y'all can see what that looks like as well. Rotate, in and out. Elbow to elbow. Breathe. One more. All right, come back, send that right leg back, left leg now up, up, and open to the side, full stretch, breathing, and send it all the way to the left hand. Now this side, I just overdid it on one of my workouts this week, so my one hamstring is a lot more tender than the other side, so this side's fine. So I'm gonna stay on my toes on this side. Of course, you can drop to your knee if you want to. Breathe, hold. Now add that rotation. Elbow towards your other elbow. Back up and open. Rotate. Rotate. Breathe. Back and forth. Nice thoracic spine, your mid-back. A good stretch to try to get that elbow to touch. That was your last one. Come back down. Your foot's gonna go back. You're gonna come back into down dog. Now in down dog, we're gonna go right into it. You're gonna be doing an opposite arm leg touch. And all that looks like is my right arm is gonna reach towards my left shin. Does it need to touch? No, definitely not. If you can't touch it, go for it. If you can only reach just a little bit, that's okay, as long as you're doing the motion. Now, I want you to notice I'm not gonna be coming into a plank when I do this. I'm gonna be coming forward a little bit, so I'm gonna be rocking. So when I reach towards one leg and I put that hand back, I'm gonna rock out of down dog just a little bit and then back into it when I go for the other side. All right, so we're gonna start with 10 touches per leg. And then right after that, we're gonna be going into a plank side step. So what that's gonna look like is you're gonna come down, and unfortunately the wall's gonna be in my way, but I'm gonna face y'all as I do it. You're gonna be in a plank, and you're gonna step to the side, all right? Trying to get your foot as close to your hand as possible while you hold a plank, okay? So we're gonna be doing 10 touches and then 10 side steps right after it. So it's gonna be a lot for your shoulders, so again, at any point, if you need to tap out, go into a child's pose to rest. All right, so come up into your down dog. You're breathing, reaching back with our right towards that left. That's 1, back, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're halfway, 6. You're doing it with control, so you're not just throwing your body around. That's 8. Breathe. That's 9. Good, this is our last one. Breathe, come forward into a plank. Now from here, we're not gonna be alternating it or anything. We're just gonna go left or right side and then left side, right into it. Okay, so plank, that's 1. Go out as far as you can. 2, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Drop to your knees. Go into child's pose. Breathe and rest. Give your shoulders a little bit of love and do a thread the needle. So go ahead, thread that needle through. Doesn't matter which side you start on. And just breathe. Nice and steady. Go ahead, switch sides. Thread the needle to the other side. Breathe. All right, coming back up, going right back into it. Touching our opposite leg. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe. 2 more. Right, coming forward into our plank, right into it. This time I'm going to start with my left leg, going out to the side, or my right leg, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and rest. What is that for y'all? More shoulders or more core? Kind of go either way. Today my shoulders are feeling pretty good in it, so I'm gonna say it's mostly core for me. All right, breathe. Feel free to thread the needle or just hold a regular old child's pose. Your choice on this round. We're doing it one more time. You get a 30-second break, and then we're gonna go right back into it. So breathe nice and steady. Calm that heart rate down. Let your shoulders relax. Deep breathing. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go back up into that down dog. Right into those reaches. Nice, steady breathing. You're doing 10 of these, so if you need to go a little bit slower, if you want to go a little bit faster, do it. Go at your own pace. Breathe. 4 more. Keep going, 2 more. Good, last one. And right into that plank. Left side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and rest. Breathe. Feel free to thread the needle again if you feel like it, or just hold child's pose. Go ahead and start to come back up. Gonna give our arms just a little bit of a break. We're gonna be doing something while we kneel. So if you don't have a super thick mat, or like if you're on hardwood like I am, you might want to roll up. My mat is luckily thick enough, but you might want to roll up your mat because you're going to be on your knees for a little bit. So first thing that we're going to be doing is just a standard hip thrust as we kneel. So you're going to come down, squeeze your glutes, drive your hips forward. All right, so you're going to come down, drive those hips forward, drive them forward. Okay, your toes can be lifted or your toes can be flat. It's going to depend on how it feels for your ankle. Breathe. Nice and easy. This one should be nice and easy after what we just did. Breathe. One more. Hold at the top. Now, what you're going to be doing now is going to be much harder, and I'm going to roll onto my toes for this one. But I'm going to keep my tailbone tucked a little bit, so my hips aren't coming out, but I'm tucking my tailbone in. Not as much as the thrust where you're driving your hips forward, but just enough to kind of lock my hips into my low back. I'm going to lower down, and I want to keep a straight line as I come back as far as I can go, and then come up again. Okay? So again, this is going to be where there's a lot of pressure on your knees, so if you want to roll up that mat, go ahead and do it. You don't want to drop your hips, okay? You should be like a board. You can't move, so that's why you tuck that tailbone under, lock it in, lean back as far as you can go, and then come back up. Obviously, you don't want to go so far that you can't come back up. So even if you're here and come there, that's fine. Go ahead and do it. All right, so everything is nice and locked in. Going back as far as we can, and coming up again. Back as far as we can go, and back again. Once you feel like you can't hold that board-like structure with your hips, that's when you probably know that's about your ending point. When I get to about here, I can start to feel my hips are dropping, so I know I can't go past that point yet. Breathe. Down and up. 2 more. Down and up. 1 more. And breathe. Come on to all fours. We're going to keep it a little bit of an active stretch right now. So lift up your right leg, cross it over your left leg. Go into a bit of an active child's pose, kind of slash pigeon. Come back up, back down again. My right leg is crossing over my left ankle as I do this. We're only going to be doing 2 rounds of those because they are a little bit more intense and not something everybody's done. So only 2 rounds of those 2 exercises. Good. Other leg. Crossing over the right. Coming back. Breathe. One more. All right, coming back again, starting with those hip thrusts up, squeezing the glutes. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. One more. Hold at the top, slight tailbone tuck, right? And let's go into those lean backs, leaning as far as you can go, and coming up. You might not be able to go as far on this round because your legs are going to be tired. Breathe. Good. 2 more. Good. And that was your last one. Let's go into that active pigeon. Same thing. My right leg is crossing over my left ankle. Breathe. Switch sides. Breathe, breathe, breathe. One more. All right. Now we're going to go into down dog again. So we're going to do a little bit more for our shoulders, a little bit more for our core. We're going to be doing mountain climbers, but they're going to be two different ways. So we're going to do it a little bit faster to get our heart rate up, and then we're going to slow it down so we can really feel our core working, okay? So first one is going to be 10 fast. Second part is going to be 10 slow and controlled. So I'll show you what those look like. Go ahead and come into a plank. Hands are shoulder width apart. Feet are going to come back. A mountain climber is just alternating knees coming into your chest. When you're doing it though, make sure you're actively pushing the ground away, tailbone is tucked, and you're bringing knees in. You're not here bringing knees in, okay? You don't want to have your spine curving down and your tailbone untucked. You want your tailbone to stay tucked the whole time. So when we do this slow, it's going to be 1, 2, okay? So it's going to be nice, slow burn. So 10 fast, 10 slow. Let's start with our fast, coming up, tailbone tucked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right into slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And breathe. Now in between this one, we're going to be doing a puppy pose stretch. This one, it's just like child's pose, except the only difference is going to be that instead of sinking back on your hips, your legs are going to stay in a 90-degree angle, and you're going to try to get your chest to touch the ground. Now if you feel like you can't do that, then aim to get your forehead to the ground. So I'll move this arm out of the way. Forehead will look like this. If you can get your chest and your chin on the ground, it would look like that. Obviously your arms would be in front, and we're going to hold it there in between our sets. Just a few seconds. Breathe. Opposite motion, stretching out our core. 5 more seconds. Go ahead and come up. Right back into a plank. Tailbone is tucked. 10 fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Go right into that puppy pose. Breathe. Good. Keep holding. Five more seconds. And coming up, we got one more round. 10. Tuck that tailbone. 10 fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax, going into puppy pose once again. Breathe. For 5 more seconds. And come up. We're gonna go right into what we're doing next, which is open and closed gait series. This is gonna be a oblique dominant kind of side crunch and stretch all in one. So you're gonna take start with our left leg sitting straight out from the side. Our right leg is stacked underneath your hip, so you're not like this. You need to make sure this knee stacked underneath your hip when you start the movement. Your right arm is gonna come down towards the ground. You're gonna have a nice, long, lengthening stretch. So when I'm doing this, my arm's not passive. It's pulling away from my body and I'm stretching up and away. I'm gonna hold it here and breathe. Now I'm gonna take my left leg that's straightened out and I'm gonna crunch it and towards my elbow and then reach out. Notice how I'm trying to pull my obliques and push them up towards the ceiling as I stretch. We're gonna do 10, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, 10. Now, we're gonna lift up, use your obliques, come up onto your fingertips, use those obliques. We're gonna go into a closed gait. Now, we're gonna see how this works. There's a movement I wanna try in here, but we're gonna see. If you can't touch the ground, rest your elbow on the meaty part of your leg or on your quad. If you can't touch the ground, then you're not gonna do this next part. You're just gonna hold it here, reach up, and stretch, okay? If you can touch the ground comfortably and you can hold your weight while doing it, your hand's gonna be here, this arm's gonna be here, and you're gonna lift that leg. 2, we're only gonna do 5, 3, 4, 5, and release. We're gonna go back down onto our side, our right side, stretching out again, reaching, crunching in for 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Use those obliques, lift up, bring your hand into the inside. If you choose, you want to try to lift that leg. I only wanted to do it for 1 round. If you decide you want to do it, you can do 5 leg lifts here again. Breathe, holding. I decided I'm just gonna hold it instead. My legs are very tired from a workout earlier this week, so don't want to overdo it. Good, come up. I'm gonna do it 1 round on the other leg as well. Coming back down again, just another option for you. Reaching up and away, breathe, 10, 9, this is our last one, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe, use those obliques, lift up off the ground, stretch the other side. Good, holding, breathe, and all the way up, switching into the other side. Right leg now extended. Breathe. You're gonna come down on your left arm, stretching up and away. Full stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Using those obliques, lifting up. Hands coming down, stretching over. Doing one round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Coming up. I'm only doing one round of those. Coming down. Stretch it out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Using our obliques, coming forward, opening up the other side. Breathe. Coming up. Last round on this side. Hold. Stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. 10. Using those obliques, let's lift up. Coming all the way down, stretching over the opposite way. Breathe. Full stretch. Coming up, going on to our stomach. So we're going to be doing kind of this shoulder, chest, ab stretch all in one. You're going to come down, facing down on the ground. I'm going to start with my left hand. So both arms are out like a T right now. My left arm though is going to pull in while my right arm stays straight away from my body. So it's straight over here. Left arm is going to come in towards my chest. My left leg is going to bend. I'm going to use my glute, push up and open, just like I did with those hip openers in down dog. We're going to hold it here. Breathe. Feel free to close your eyes, rest your head on the ground. If you want more of a stretch, let this knee drop away from your body even more. Open up that foot. Let that hip fully open. Breathe. Good. Keep holding. Relaxing your body. Holding still, we're going to move in 5 seconds. That's one nice deep breath in. Exhale, rotate back onto your chest. Your left arm is now going to come out straight. Right arm is bending in towards your chest. Right leg lifting up, using that glute, opening up that hip. Head is resting on the ground. Feeling free to let that knee fall away from your body. Foot opens up. Breathe and hold. Good, keep breathing. 2 more breaths, one in. And out, last one, inhale. Exhale, roll forward. You're gonna come up onto your knees. We're gonna take our right knee forward. We're gonna bring it forward. And we're gonna do a hip flexor stretch. So when we do a hip flexor stretch, it's really important that you keep your tailbone tucked the whole time. So as I'm holding it here, I'm gonna keep my tailbone tucked. So I don't want my booty coming out. I wanna keep it tucked in. So you can see that this is all in line right now instead of being curved and open. So tucking that in, keeping it tucked. We're gonna take the arm that's on that side. So this is my left leg. Tailbone is already tucked. I'm gonna take my left arm and I'm gonna reach straight up while I keep that tailbone tucked. Once you have that position done, then you can arch to the side again, all times keeping that tailbone tucked, not letting it come untucked. Breathe, reaching as far as we can go. Close your eyes, focus on that breathing, keeping that tailbone tucked. You should feel it right in here where your hip flexor is. Breathe. Hold. Coming back forward. Coming down. Go ahead and switch the legs. Up. Tailbone is tucked already. I'm reaching straight up with my right arm. So this is my right leg. And then arching to the side, keeping that tailbone tucked the whole time. This is something you should definitely do if you run a lot. You do a lot of abs and hip flexors, you use them in everything. So this is a stretch that you should do regular. Especially too if you sit at a desk a lot as well and you're active. Breathe, reaching, keeping that tailbone tucked. Breathe, 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 and release. We're gonna do it one more time on each side. Left leg again, tucking that tailbone. Reaching straight up to the side. Tailbone tucked the whole time. Deep breathing, trying to relax my body. When you do a stretch that feels pretty intense, and hip flexor stretches always feel really intense for me. I always have to focus on that 2-second inhale, 4-second exhale, so my body doesn't start to freak out, or my central nervous system, because it feels like it's in pain. So breathe in, try to calm that heart rate, calm your system down. Bring it back, other side. Tailbone is tucked, right arm extends and bends to the side. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Calming that body down, keeping that tailbone tucked. And relax. Go ahead and come onto your back. You're gonna have knees together and they're going to drop to the side while you try to keep your back on the ground, your shoulders on the ground. Now you don't want these legs to come unstacked. You want your knees, joints to be stacked on top of one another. If you can't do it where you can touch the ground, get a pillow and put it underneath your knees, because it's really important that your shoulder blades both are on the ground. Arms are open like a cactus or like a T. And you're breathing. Again, here trying to relax these muscles. Go ahead, bring those knees up to the middle. Switch to the other side. Knees are still stacked. Shoulder blades on the ground. Come back to the middle. Put your hands on your stomach. Knees can fall in towards one another. I usually let my feet go wide, knees just fall in towards the midline. I'm gonna breathe 5 nice deep breaths here, and then y'all are done. Inhale, 2 seconds, exhale for 4. Alright, and y'all are all done. Last deep breath.